Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the next PL900 test prep question. In this one, we're going to look at the different policies that we can include as it relates to the Power Platform and what they do. Let's go ahead and get started. The question says a company uses Power Platform. You must ensure that users cannot share customer data with other users. You must also ensure that users cannot connect to data sources unless you grant the user explicit permissions to access the data source. You need to recommend solutions to meet the company's security requirements. Which two types of policies should you recommend? And so we're going to talk about the different policies that we have listed here. The first one is Office Cloud Policies. So Office Cloud Policies, also known now as Cloud Policy Service for Microsoft 365. This lets you enforce policy settings for Microsoft 365 apps. So we'll say Microsoft 365 apps. And for enterprise on users' devices. And that's whether the device isn't on the domain or it's otherwise managed. So this is really about the devices here. And that allows you to create those policies. Then we also have group policy objects. Group policy objects is a virtual collection of policy settings, and this can be used to manage Windows operating systems. All right, so this is for Windows operating systems and the policies associated to that. The next one is we have environment level policies. So what you need to know about the way that the Power Platform is set up is you're going to have a tenant, that's the first level, and then you're going to have the environment underneath. So you can have multiple environments within inside of a single tenant. And so we can see option C and D here. C says environmental level policies. So that's based on the environment. And then we have tenant level policies. This is for the entire company. So we have one company and then we can have multiple environments within inside of that company. And so tenant level policies can be used to define which environments you want to include or exclude. So you can define which environments to include or exclude. Okay, so you're going to have one tenant and then you're going to have multiple environments within inside of that tenant. And then we also have preset security policies. So the preset security policies allow you to apply features based on Microsoft's recommendation. Okay, so these are Microsoft recommended policies. And what you need to know about that is they cannot really be changed. So you can create custom policies, but if you use the preset security policies, you're not going to be able to change them or manipulate them like you would a custom policy. All right, so we need to focus in on what this is telling us here. So we're using the Power Platform and we must ensure, so I'm going to underline this here, ensure that users cannot share customer data with other users, and users cannot connect to data sources unless you grant them explicit permissions. So as we think about how we're going to manage these security requirements here, option A says Office Cloud Policies. Well, that's dealing with Microsoft 365 apps and the devices. We're focused in on the data that is within inside of that, and we can see here within inside the question it talks about the customer data and the data sources. So we're not going to be focused in on Office Cloud Policies here, so we'll go ahead and eliminate option A. Option B is Group Policy Objects. This is based on a Windows operating system, so that's not going to be what we're concerned with for this question. And then we have environment level policies, potentially. Tenant level policies, also potential. Remember, we have to choose two. It says two types of policies should you recommend. And then we have our preset security policies. So as we're thinking about maintaining the security of our data sources and how we want to configure that, it's really going to come down to the tenant and the environment level policies. So the correct answer here would be option C, the environment level policies, and D, the tenant level policies. These are going to be what we can define to secure the data within inside the Power Platform. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content. I'll see you in the next one.